tell a lot about how a person treats someone when that person that they are stewarding no longer can do anything for them. And they still provide dignity for the person that they are stewarding well after that person is gone. My godmother calling me one night, and she told me, I need you to come over to the house. Mark, he's dead in the bathtub. My godfather and I rushed over to the house, and sure enough, he was lying dead in the bathtub, and I pulled him out, and the first thing that I did was I dried his body. I covered him in towels, and we called EMT, and they came, and before I would let them in the house, I made sure that he had dignity. I put clothes on his dead body. I made sure that his hair was in good standing. I made sure that everything that he left with, he was buried with, because I could not give him life. The only thing that I could give him was dignity. That same godmother who I loved, who was my assistant for 14 years, I'm in a meeting with her going over my schedule, and she says, I don't feel well. And I said, what do you mean you don't feel well? She said, I need you to call the ambulance. And I called the EMT, and the EMT came, and they put her in the back of the ambulance. And me, my wife, my mom, my sister, we followed behind them as they drove her to the emergency room. And by the time we got to the emergency room, they had told us that she had suffered an aneurysm and half of her brain had decomposed into her spine. Because she didn't have a brain, she would not have any life worth living. So we made the decision to pull the plug. And as she took her final breaths, the nurses left the room, the doctors left the room, people left the room. We were in the room with her body. We stayed, we gave her dignity. Because I refuse to let someone take someone that I love out of a hospital room undignified. My mom knocks on my door one night and says, I need you to help me get your dad out of bed. He's not breathing. We called 911. 911 came. They got him. They put him in the back of the ambulance. They took him to the emergency room. They worked on him as long as they could, and they came and they told me and my mom there's nothing more that we could do. And I looked at them and said, just give us some time with them. There's no way in the world I'm letting my hero go out undignified. He was not their hero. He was not their spouse. He was not their father. He was just a pastor to most of them, but he was my hero. And I'm not letting my hero leave the hospital without escape. So I stayed in that room. I put clothes back on his body. I made sure every hair was meticulously placed back in its rightful place. I made sure that his hands were clean from the blood, from the needles that they had jabbed into his arms. I made sure that every tube that they placed in him was removed. I made sure that he was clean as he exited into eternity, because I could not give him life. But what I could give him was dignity.